Hello everyone, we are from Diamond Wire Sewing Group, and right now we would like to tell you about how to cutting off the stone. And do you ever heard about diamond wire sewing before? Okay, the practice of using diamonds for cutting hair materials can be traced back to Egypt as far as 2500 before century. However, the industrial type of diamond wire sewing we use today is much more recent development and originates from England in the 1950s. And the first commercially viable solution we used at Carrara, Italy, for marble quarries in the late 1960s, and the commercialization increasing in the late 1980s and being used in almost all marble quarries in 1984. And this is a brief video of how the machine works. The stone will be cutting off by the wire. And this is the system view. As you can see before, there is a water that spray into the wire, and there will be a drive unit, and this is the rope look like. The rope is made from a loop of high tensile steel or diamond that connected by a mechanical joiner. And the type of wire is based on the segment. This is segment that I said, and here is the segment. There are two types of segment, sinter segment and galvanic segment. For the sinter segment, the diamond is spread, but galvanic is only on the surface, only in the one side. But the cutting performance for galvanic is really good at the first time, while the sintered has a really long time to cutting of the material, but the cutting performance is stable. For the applications, as you can see before, it used it for cutting of the stone. It can be used for sewing the wall, or decommissioning of nuclear, or cutting of the ship. And it's really valuable for underwater workings, or it can be said this machine is like a long distance cutting machines.
So, there are two general methods utilized by diamond wire sewing machines. Next, the first one is continuous method, loop or endless. The wire saw loop is made by squaring and welding the wire ends together and then twice hitting the weld. This method used for making endless wire saw for cropping and slicing crystalline ingots that has relatively large diameter of polysilicon and single crystal silicon ingots. A continuous loop of wire having a plurality of cutting elements affixed thereto, continuously moving the wire loop orthogonally to a longitudinal axis of a crystalline semiconductor material ingot, rotating the ingot about its longitudinal axis and advancing the wire loop from a position adjoining the outer diameter of ingot towards its inner diameter. So here are the steps for this method. First is providing a steel wire having a tensile strength at least 300 psi and having opposite ends. Second, butting the wire ends together. Next, welding the wire ends together, creating a weld. Next, heating the welded wire ends and the weld to a temperature between 1450 Fahrenheit and 1550 Fahrenheit, and allowing the welded ends and the weld to air cool. And the fifth is removing excess weld material from the weld and the welded ends. And the last is again heating the welded wire ends. Next. And the second is reciprocating wire saw. Reciprocating wire saw is a system of diamond wire of a set length is continually wound and unwound. These saws work slowly but very precisely, and the workpiece is not exposed to any heat. A reciprocating diamond wire saw comprising a diamond wire and at least one oscillating disc on the periphery, and it at least one-third a part of said diamond wire. Another part of the wire form is a loop by moving away from said oscillating disc. Then said loop enter into contact with the part to be sound, where the reciprocating motion is given to said loop by the inversion of the direction of rotational disc. And it will characterize the part of the said diamond wire that is wound around supply rail, where the said loop is placed downstream from said supply rail and upstream from said take-up rail, and thereby being regularly and gradually replaced during the cutting process. Next. Next is the surface quality of the workpiece and wire saw life is bound to be affected negatively. Increasing the workpiece feed speed helps machining efficiency and is harmful to surface quality. Therefore, the workpiece feed speed should be appropriate to increase and improve the machining efficiency in the context of ensuring the workpiece surface quality and wire saw life.
Okay, now we will discuss about the advantages and disadvantages of the diamond wire sewing. First, we'll talk about the advantages. For the first advantages of using diamond wire sewing is speed. The conventional to repeat wire sewing can be slow when cutting very hard material. Meanwhile, diamond wire offer substantial improvement in speed, so it is increasing the productivity in each machine. And the second is precision. Diamond sewing are precise technique. It is produce little to almost no dust or debris. And the third is produces less curve. The diamond sewing produces less curve and wasted material compared to solid blades. On very expensive material, this could save hundreds or thousands of dollars of waste. Unlike slurry saw that use bare wire and contain the cutting material in the cutting fluid, diamond sewing uses only water or some fluid to lubricate, cool cut, and remove debris. Unlike bare material, diamond sewing may not need water or cutting fluid, thus leaving a clean dry out. And next, we will discuss about the disadvantages. The first is unpredictable longevity. Why? Because the longevity greatly depends on the material cut and the number of slices per cut, and the quality control of a small diameter diamond wire also greatly affect wildlife, and getting a bad batch is not unknown. And the second is production timing less predictable. Why? Because the diamond abrasive is not chemically attached to the wire. The wire loses cutting effectiveness after a few cuts because the abrasive is worn off the wire. This means that the last cut may take much longer than the first cut, making production timing less predictable.
This means that the last cut may take much longer than the first cut, making production timing less predictable. The longevity greatly depends on the material cut and the number of slices per cut. Quality control of smaller diameter diamond wire also greatly affects wildlife, and getting a bad batch is not unknown.